welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, then welcome. And if you don't want to miss out on weekly pick a card readings, don't forget to subscribe. Today's pick a card reading is an interesting one. We are going to see what are people's first impression of you versus how they see you now. In front of me, I have 4 different options, each with a different number. Choose the one that really calls out to you. If you need more time, you can pause the video, and if you know which one you want, you can go to the timestamp down below. Okay, let's get started. Hey, group number 1. Okay, so what are people's first impression of you versus how they see you now? Okay, group number 1. So right away with the World card here, I'm getting the impression that you guys come across as a first impression to be worldly to people. And what I mean by that is it's like you guys are seen to kind of like be experienced with life, so to speak, okay? So people feel like, you just got like this kind of like, you know what you're about. It's like you know how the world operates, and it's like you just appear like you've got it together. And it's kind of like you're owning this adulting thing. You know what I mean? Like that's how you guys first come across. So like worldly, experienced. Some of you even like, you're like you've traveled a lot, just like you're no stranger to the world, different cultures, and life experiences, basically. And along with that, I'm also getting the impression when I look at the worldly card here that you guys, there is this image coming to me where I see like you guys wearing like a dark jacket. It could be like a leather coat and boots, and I'm just getting like this edginess about you. And honestly, like the word that came to me in regards to you guys is like you come across like a sophisticated badass, okay? So there's like, yeah, it's just, and on top of it, like I was saying, like, yeah, and it just goes with that worldly like presence that you guys have. Okay, so on top of that, I feel like you guys also come across like, you wouldn't shy away from spilling the tea with people, okay? So I think you kind of enjoy, like, when you first get to know people, like, what are the juicy details in their life? Like, you want to get straight to it. I feel like that's the kind of talk that interests you, okay? And I feel like that's also why you guys in particular are drawn to these pick a card videos, because you want to know. You guys are the ones that want to know, like, what are people saying about me, Because, yeah, you like when the tea is spilled, and that's how you come across, first impression. Okay, so along with the worldliness, you guys also come across with a first impression like kind of like a fierceness about you, okay? So you're definitely coming across as being like strong, confident, independent, with a like edge of fierceness, like you wouldn't hesitate to like be blunt if it came to it, and possibly calling somebody out and just being like, yeah, like, showing them the claws, basically. And with the cat card too, though, you also come across as being like trendy and cool and just like chill. You also have a very interesting mix going on, first impression. So on one hand, you can come across as being kind of fierce, but like also chill, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's just, it's like king or queen vibes going on, which is often my number one, so yeah. Okay, so with the Sagittarius, you guys are also coming across, like I said, like, like possibly you've traveled the world. Like, I feel like, so it's possible that, since it's first impression, that you guys mention that to people or something gives them that impression. Or maybe it's what you post on social media. That could also be people's first impression of you, like, there's something that's given this like feeling of travel and like, just even people who come across like their life as an adventure can come across as being like free-spirited traveler. But yeah, you guys are definitely giving off those vibes as well. Now, with the competitiveness, I don't feel like people necessarily get that you are competitive, although I do feel like this group is competitive, but upon first impression, I feel like that's really due to the fact that, again, I feel like you, with that fierceness, what that really is about is you guys are like you have a go-getter energy, and I feel like, you know, you guys wouldn't shy away from being like, yeah, you know, I'm awesome. Like, whatever I do it really well. Like, there's some way that you talk about yourself and maybe your accomplishments that come across just as being like awesome, you know? So yeah, that is what I'm picking up on for that first impression. So a first impression, all in all, though, you guys come across like a fire sign, whether you are or you're not. Okay, so you're definitely like fiery, lively, passionate, and like excited for life type of people. So I get that you guys just light up when you speak. You're animated, you know, you can be the center of attention without even trying, is what I'm getting. Okay, so now, how do people see you versus how, you know, when they first met you? Is you guys actually come across as being more on the innocent side the more people get to know you. I'm seeing with the 7 of Cups card here. Okay, so definitely more of the water coming through. So they see, oh, you know, like, okay, this person isn't as fierce as they first initially came across. Like, they have a heart, there's a depth to them, and you know, you guys come across as being warm and friendly the more people get to know you, okay? So I'm getting like real Cancer vibes coming through with that. And along with that too, I feel like you guys do come across as being more like dreamers. There's just this real sweet, dreamy energy coming through for you guys. And kind of like, you know, it's interesting because it's like first impression, you guys come across like, yeah, you know a lot of people, you hang out and associate with a lot of people on top of being worldly, but then the more people get to know you, the more they realize, oh, you know, sometimes you know, are not always out and about with others, but you do like to stay and you do like to be alone at times. Like, I feel like there's this interesting dynamic with this group. And the more people get to know you, the more they see that about you. Because with the Alchemist card, I actually do get the impression that, you know, you'd be just as content like doing your own thing. I feel like this is a creative group, or you guys got some kind of hobby that you don't mind like spending your time doing, even versus hanging out with people, and people who know you know that about you, is what I'm seeing with that. But yeah, what's interesting though is I feel like, you know, first impression was the shark, and the more they get to know you is more dolphin energy, so more lighthearted. You come across as being playful, carefree, and like kind of like, you know, just fun, all around fun. Like, you're fun upon first impression, but I feel like you lighten up more the more comfortable you are with others. And then I also see this charming, flirty self, you know, come through, and just like kind of like this feeling of like anything is possible. So this group, you guys are definitely coming across like dreamers who are go-getters, okay? And I feel like, you know, the more people get to know, like at first it's got very like chariot energy, like, yeah, like they get it. You're goal-driven, you're on the move, you're this fierce go-getter who's independent and has seen the world. That's how people are viewing you. But then the more they get to know you, the more they're like, oh wait, this person's got substance, they've got heart, they, you know, totally led by the greater good type feeling. And just like, you know, you definitely have this, you know, just a more depth to you, and more like, wow, like, you know, this person cares, is the feeling I'm getting with this. So yeah. Okay, group number 1, this is what I see for you guys. If this resonates, let me know in the comments. And if it does, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Hey, group number 2. Okay, so what are people's first impression of you versus how they see you now? Okay, group number 2. So right away when I see the Tower card, that tells me that people see you guys as being thrill seekers upon meeting you. Okay, so there is something about the way that you are and being in your presence and your personality that people just get the impression like you are this daring, bold, blunt person who's very like lively. So I'm getting strong fire vibes with you guys, and it's like you just seem like you're down for the next like adventure, and I feel like, you know, or even next activity in the moment, and it's very like it comes across as being, you know, kind of, it could be impulsive to some, okay, but just real spontaneous. Okay, you are a fun, spontaneous, exciting person, and people are kind of like on the edge of their seat around you. Like they don't know what to expect, whether it's like how you speak or what you do in the moment. It's just like you go off impulse, I feel. Okay, so I'm getting like real Aries vibes now the more that I speak about this. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys were an Aries or had it strong in your chart, okay? On top of that, I see the warrior archetype, so that also tells me, you know, for some of you, you could be in the military, and for others of you, I feel like you're an athlete, and for the rest of you, I feel like you just either like, you know, activities that are physical or like staying in shape, okay? And along with that, you guys are also seen to be attractive, okay? And then with the Scorpio right next to that, I'm getting like a real sensual vibe, like naturally from you guys. So how I summarized that was, yeah, first impression, you guys are seen to be attractive, thrill seekers who like to stay in shape, okay? So I am also, along with that, getting real like Knight of Wands energy. So those of you, you know, who know that, know what I'm talking about. So those of you that don't, that is like kind of like, you know, player type energy. And, you know, people just feel like because you're this like thrill seeker who likes to stay in shape and is attractive and like naturally sensual and charming and a flirt, you know, just they think you get approached a lot, like people come easily. So they think, you know, like you're probably non-committal. Yeah, that's like the energy and vibe that's coming through for this group. So that's interesting, group number 2. You'll have to let me know, like, if that's like right on or if you don't think that's you. But that's what's coming through. Okay, so on top of that, I feel like there's also, upon meeting you or right after meeting you, it's like even when you do entertain people, I'm seeing, it's kind of like I'm seeing them having to play this waiting game with you. So I don't know if you like leave people on red or take forever to get back to them, but there's definitely, I feel like, some imbalance with messaging and texting going on with you guys, okay? Actually, yeah, and along with that, I feel like you guys are kind of known to ghost people. So maybe they're right. Like maybe there is a bit of Knight of Wands energy with you. You know, I feel like, you know, you get interested and then you just fall out of it. That's possible for some of you. Yeah, because I'm also getting the Runner's card here. Okay, so I feel like, you know, sometimes when things get rocky, you jump ship. At least that's how you come across. And you know what? I'm also getting like, it's possible for you guys, like you are feeling something with somebody one moment and then maybe the next minute you're not, you know, and it's like being true to you, and but I don't feel like you always give people maybe that closure, okay? So upon first meeting you, they think, yeah, you know, Knight of Wands, this person, you know, they shift and they don't know what to make of you. So along with that first impression, you guys are also being seen as being hard to get, okay? But yeah. All right, so how do they feel once they get to know you? So they actually, well, upon first meeting you or knowing you now, people are crushing on you like any and all steps of the way, okay? It could be right away, it could be, you know, a little further down the road, but you got people crushing on you, okay? So you have a real like addictive type of energy, I'm getting, all in all. And okay, so upon knowing you though, you guys are coming across like the Empress, okay? So like way more grounded and down to earth than how they initially first thought of you. And I do feel like, you know, they see that you have more of a heart than they thought at first, okay? And I feel like your inner attractiveness shines through the more people get to know you. So at first it's definitely like your outer appearance, but then the more people get to know you, the more, you know, that inner attractiveness shines through. And along with that, mentor also came out. So I found that interesting that you went from warrior to mentor. So yeah, like a more mature, grounded energy comes through, and somebody with a heart. Okay, so I feel like you guys are also seen to be like, you could be a mentor. Okay, you come across as being wise and knowledgeable in a certain area. And I wouldn't be surprised, like, if some of you, you know, we're leaders in whatever field that you're in. That's also coming through. So it's actually really cool to see like the different dynamic of the, you know, first impression versus the more they get to know you. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely seeing like more substance to you guys than the initial first meeting, and actually a real like more of a peacefulness is coming through. So I feel like, you know, that, not saying you guys aren't spontaneous thrill seekers, but the more people get to know you, and I'm actually getting the impression that you guys might have went through more of a phase earlier in life, and that actually might be what this is picking up on. And now I feel like you guys are stepping into a more calm, grounded energy than what you were before. You're still fun, you're still spontaneous, but it's more like, it's like a calmer, chiller vibe though now about you, and more like, you know, just, it's like you went from fire to earth energy. But the earth is still, it's still fun though, because it's still you. You know what I mean? It's just more mature now, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, and now you guys are coming across as being established, and like whatever it is that you do, I feel like, you know, you do it well, and you're seen as being put together the more people know you. And I do see that you guys also come across like you want a family. So, you know, and a commitment is what is coming through. So, you know, like you might have been that Knight of Wands like before, but now it's kind of like, no, like you're stepping into more of a like depth into, you know, like what is it that matters to you is what I'm seeing now, or as people get to know you more. So yeah, and with the water here, like definitely coming from more of emotion versus, you know, like passion. So there's more of a depth to you the more people get to know you. As well as you do come across like, you know, you want that commitment. And I do feel like, again, like with that mentor, like people do look up to you. So yeah, so whereas before you might have been like, you know, kind of an all-star feeling, and like that's how you come across upon first meeting you. And then the more they get to know you, the more it's like you are guiding others is what I'm seeing. Still might be in the spotlight though. This is going to be different for all of you, so that's interesting though. Okay, group number 2, this is what I see for you guys. If this resonates, let me know in the comments. And if it does, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Group number 3. Okay, so what are people's first impression of you versus how they see you now? Okay, group number 3. So this is really interesting because typically, you know, the sweet heart pile is like my number 2s, but you guys are coming across that way upon meeting you. So I find that interesting that you and like group 2 switched. Okay, so normally my group 3s are like real independent, you know, and sometimes non-committal and runners, but no, that's pile 2, this reading. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. That's interesting. Okay, but yeah, with the 6 of Cups here, you guys, you know, upon meeting you, people feel like welcome in your presence. Like you make people feel at home and at ease, and like they've known you their whole life. Okay, so instant connection with you. I feel like you guys are just naturally like kind-hearted people who want to make sure like people, you know, like everyone's having a good time type feeling. Very life path 6 going on with this group for this reading. And yeah, and I'm even getting with the water here that, you know, you guys, you really do come from the heart, and people feel that. They feel that resonance with you like naturally, okay? I'm also getting like Cancer vibes with you upon meeting you, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if like you welcome people into your home and, you know, you treat them to like, you know, just drinks and food and just I'm getting a real like homey and warm fuzzy feeling from you guys. Okay, so that's how people feel upon first meeting you, which I think is really sweet. Yeah, and I feel like some of you might kind of wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit, okay? And I feel like, it's basically you guys are loving people, so I feel like you expect the same in return, and then you get kind of surprised, if people don't respond the same way. And it's just, again, like Cancer vibes coming through. And along with that, some of you might even come across as being a little sensitive, but I don't feel like that's going to be all of you, okay? So take what resonates. Yeah, and you might even come across as being kind of intuitive. So, yeah. And the other thing, okay, this is kind of a side note for you guys, but like I'm kind of getting the feeling that some of you might even be feeling a little homesick right now. Yeah, so that's coming through for some of you. Okay, so you guys, along with the water vibes, okay, so people definitely, like, upon meeting you, they know you have a depth to you that, yeah, I do feel like they pick up on that right away, okay? And it's because you're very in tune with emotion. You are, you have this awareness, intuition about you, and just the way you speak, like, people can pick up on that, I feel. And the way that you observe others, okay? And like I said, they feel welcome, but then you also have this earth energy about you, okay? So like Virgo vibes are coming through, and I see that, you guys also have the student archetype, so that tells me, and my work card came out. So you guys, you definitely also come across, like I said, like earth energy, okay? So very like practical and great work ethic. I feel like people, and it's like you're on top of your stuff with the Virgo energy here. Like so maybe you talk about work right away, or, school, like there's something right now that you're currently doing that's taking up a lot of your time, or maybe you're researching. It's just there's some kind of something that you're doing that you do well. And I feel like, yeah, like that's probably what you talk about though. And that's how people get that first impression of you, like, oh wow, like they got their stuff together. That's how you come across, whether you feel like you do or you don't, with the Virgo energy here. Okay, so I also see that, whether it's a first impression or they get to know you, you guys come across like you are a true friend to people, okay? I'm getting like this real like fierce loyalty, and I feel like you're there for them as well when they need you. And just I feel just this real upbeat energy coming from this card, like, so not only are you a true friend, but you're a great friend, okay? I feel like you see like the optimistic side of things, and like, you help people, you help them, whether it's just lending them a listening ear or like saying some kind of sage advice, like it helps. And I feel like people are better off with you in their life, is what I'm seeing with that. And yeah, you are the one that they would contact. They feel like, again, you have that welcoming energy, like they feel free to be able to, is what I'm seeing, like upon meeting you even, because it goes back to like when you meet people, like they feel like they've known you their whole life, okay? You have that. So that's awesome to see. Okay, so now, how do they see you now versus then? So you guys, okay, the more you open up, the more you go from being like kind of, some of you might even come across as being kind of quiet, I'm seeing too, upon meeting you. That'll go for some of you. Because the more that they get to know you, seeing the fiery card next to that, I feel like you guys come alive, okay? So more animated when you speak, just lit up and like, totally like in the moment, more performer-like energy, okay? I'm getting like Leo vibes coming through for that, even Sagittarius with this looking like it's traveling. But yeah, so I feel like, you're just more spontaneous, more fun, more free feeling than initially. And yeah, so you guys also come across as having this like childlike nature about you. So I feel like, you make any moment fun because you are all about like, what is the next fun? Like, what's the next fun thing we can do? And even if it's just hanging out, I feel like you guys make it fun, okay? So yeah, this is interesting actually. And I also see that you guys, the more people get to know you, the more they see that you're actually more laid back than and chill than how you initially came across, which was very Virgo like, you know, very on top of things, very, you know, you have that as well, I see, but the more they get to know you, the more they get to see this fun, laid back side of you, okay? Like you're not all work and no play. And also with that, I feel like you guys actually can kind of be the life of the party around people that you feel, you know, that your people basically, like whoever you feel best around or most comfortable around, you are like, yeah, like well, let's get this going. Let's do this. You round up the people, you make sure everybody's having a good time, and yeah, you just like it's like a party around you is what I'm getting. Like the vibes, whether you're partying or not, like that's what's like coming through. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. So upon meeting you, you come across with the water and the earth vibes, and then the more they get to know you, the more you're coming across as fire and air, okay? So yeah, Aquarius is how people would label you. Like Leo Aquarius is what's coming through. So, you know, kind of being a little bit more like unconventional, not so, you know, everything's got its place Virgo. And then, you know, just kind of like doing your own thing, being more spontaneous and showing a unique side of you is what I'm seeing. So, like, you kind of surprise people. Okay. Like they think they have you pegged when they first meet you as being this sweet person with a great work ethic who's got, you know, things tidy and everything has a place to like wild card, okay, with Aquarius, you are switching things up. The more that people get to know you, you are the one who's saying, let's go do this. And it could be totally like out in left field, you know, like road trip, that's coming through. And, you know, just like, and I see that you shine. When you're in your element, it's like you guys are a mixture of both the first impression and when they get to know you. So they're not wrong. It's just they don't get to see the full scope. I feel like you guys are actually a really good balance of water, earth, fire, and air. So group number 3, I'm actually really curious in particular, like what sign are you? Like which one? You know, really does represent you because this is just an interesting dynamic coming through for you guys. Okay, group number 3, this is what I see for you guys. If this resonates, let me know in the comments. And if it does, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Hey, group number 4. Okay, so what are people's first impression of you versus how they see you now? Okay, group number 4. So right away, what I am seeing with you guys is the 2 of fire. So that tells me that upon meeting you, I feel like you guys form connections immediately. But it is like with people that you want to form connections with, okay? Because for me, this is a very deliberate and kind of intense card, but like in a really good way. So I feel like, you know, along with that, I'm getting the impression that, you know, it's kind of like you guys, you know a lot of people, but like you purposely choose to keep your circle small, you know, like a tight, close-knitted group. And it's kind of like that's who you open up to, okay? And I feel like, you know, so upon meeting you, first impression, it's kind of like if you choose this person to allow them in, like, yeah, like, I feel like you guys, you know, you come across like a Leo to them. So very like passionate, lively, animated, good with the words. So definite fire air vibes going on with that, okay? And then along with that, okay, group number 4. Don't let this get to your head, but I did draw the goddess card for you guys. So yeah, you guys are seen like if you're a woman to be like a goddess, and if you're a guy, you know, to be like a god. But even more so than that, actually, like the image I was getting is like kind of an Egyptian pharaoh, like just some kind of regalness to you, okay, is coming through. So yeah, like just like regal vibes, basically. But yeah, group number 4, you guys, you know, people instantly, like, they view you as being attractive and just like the full package is what I mean by the regal vibes, okay? And along with that, it's kind of like you're a boss, like boss vibes is coming through, you know, not like literally unless you are, but what I mean by that is like, you know, you have this real, and this is upon meeting you as well as the more they get to know you, even more so when they get to know you, but like a go-getter type energy, okay, is what you guys, you know, have. And the other thing that I'm seeing is it's like what's coming through is you guys are up on the latest trends, but it's kind of like you don't care. Like you're choosy. And I feel like it just represents that you come across like your own person. Okay. So you're unique in that way. And you are who you are and you own it, is what I'm seeing. And people, you know, it's like, yeah, they pick up on that right away with you. So you're choosy about, you know, who you associate with. You're choosy about what you care to like spend your attention on, and like, you know, even in regards to what it is that you're into is what I'm seeing. And I feel like you guys, it's like you are not followers at all. And that is the other thing that's coming across, first impression. Like you're just coming across like your own person. Okay, so the other first impression people have of you is that it's kind of like you're this inquisitive, curious person, okay? So definitely getting air vibes with that. But along with that, like this kitten, like it's like you are fun and spontaneous and just kind of like free flowing and doing and saying what comes to you in the moment. And I feel like people, you know, like, yeah, it's like a breath of fresh air, group number 4. That's how you come across, first impression. And it's just you being you know? And along with that, I feel like people also, they like your voice. There's something about the way that you speak that people could just keep listening to you. Whether they ever admit that or not, that's what's coming through. And I also feel like, you know, what they end up seeing after first impression is that you guys are really good at keeping in touch and communicating, okay? So whereas maybe a lot of people don't really articulate what exactly it is that they're trying to get across to people, you guys are skilled in that way is what I'm seeing. Oh, and yeah, and you know, this came through, first impression. I feel like, you know, people want to put a ring on it. Or have you put a ring on it? And it goes back to the whole like, you know, like this magnetic, intense connection along with the goddess regalness about you guys. Just like that full package vibe, basically. Okay, so the more that they get to know you, how do they see you? Okay, so they see you guys as, so you go from being polite upon first meeting you to being kind of like, yeah, feisty and being a little bit more blunt, but feisty in a good way, okay? I feel like you guys also have a flirty side to you, a flirty, charming side to you, and even a bit competitive. So yeah, so the more they get to know you, you know, it's like that same intense connection, but more even raw and authentic and just more you, okay? So yeah, either way, you guys are definitely coming across as being fiery people. It's very passionate when you're into whatever it is that you're into. Okay, so I feel like, and also the more, you know, they get to know you, they see you as being dreamers, okay? And I do feel like you have this like kind of like anything's possible mentality that maybe at first you don't quite give that away. Although, I mean, you know, I feel like if someone's intuitive, they could pick up on that. But like, yeah, you definitely have like this kind of like dreamer side to you. And mystical like is what I'm seeing. As well as artists came through for you guys. So I feel like, you know, they get to see more depth to you, a more creativeness to you, and kind of like self-expression through some kind of creative element. And if you guys don't feel like you are an artist, I feel like, you know, you have the potential in an area that you haven't quite explored. That is also coming through as a side note. But, you know, for those of you that it does resonate, then yeah, like they see that. Those that know you know that is what I'm seeing. Okay, and yeah, you know, we know you guys are coming across like their dream girl or guy. The more they get to know you, the more they fall for you, you know? Okay, but yeah, so whether first impression or they know you, again, like I said, you definitely have that go-getter. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get the, you know, you basically make your goal happen, is what I'm seeing with that. So yeah, and the more they get to know you, the more that a Capricorn type energy comes through. So, you know, kind of like just really good, you guys have really good work ethic is what I'm seeing, and a very like driven energy. Those that know that about you, and that, you know, like I said, you do what it takes, you put in the hours, you have this like perseverance, this endurance that's coming through that maybe other people would have quit, you know, but like not you. I feel like it's kind of almost a game to you to see like what can you do? What can you accomplish within a certain amount of time? Like once you put your mind to it. So that's definitely coming through for you guys. Along with Pisces came through for those that really get to know you. So that goes along with the artist really well. That you guys, and the dreamerness, that you guys are seen to be more, you know, imaginative and have a depth to you, that you reveal more and more to those that know you. And what's interesting too, along with the Pisces, is there's a lot of red and purple here. And purple and so red, okay. So red is definitely, you know, that fiery, passionate, lively, animated self of yours that you have. So when you are into something, you're just lit naturally and like just, you know, in the zone, doing your thing, really coming alive is what comes across. But then the purple in particular, I feel like your guys' intuition is starting to heighten. So there is a bit of artist, like an artistic type side coming out of you, as well as, like I said, like just, you know, this intuition, this being able to read people yourself, you know, and really see like who fits your world, because that is kind of like how a Pisces operates, you know, like you guys are seen to be more mystical on top of, you know, this go-getter energy and artistic than initially how people see you. So yeah. Okay, group number 4, this is what I see for you guys. If this resonates, let me know in the comments. And if it does, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys.